This is the eufy C220 indoor cam. We've got 360 pan tilt, we've got 2K resolution. Does that make it the right security camera to protect the inside of your house? Let's talk about it. What up everybody, George Langabeer here. Today we're talking indoor security cameras, specifically one from eufy. We're talking about the C220 pan tilt camera. I'm gonna unbox it. I'm gonna talk about price and specs. I'm gonna tell you what I love and what I don't love. Let's get into it with the unboxing. All right, now that we've unboxed, let's talk price and specs. I'm gonna do this a little differently this time. I'm gonna combine my review into the specs. First, we're gonna talk about the specs I like, then we're gonna talk about what I don't like so much. Before we get into this, I wanna thank eufy for sending me this camera. I also wanna thank eufy for sponsoring this video. But sponsored or not, I truly hope by now that you know I'm gonna always tell you like it is. But thanks, eufy. All right, starting with what I like. Actually, let's talk about what I love, and that is the price. $34.99. That's fantastic for a pan tilt 2K indoor security camera. Another thing I like, and I just said it, 2K resolution. If you follow the channel, you know that I think that 2K is the sweet spot when you're trying to secure your home with a security camera. And this is a pan tilt camera, so we got 360-degree coverage. Now, a lot of times when you're looking at the inside of your house, you're trying to get the most bang for your buck. You're trying to cover as many areas with one camera as you can. And that 360 pan tilt gets that done. AI human movement tracking. I love that with pan tilt cameras when you're trying to secure the inside of your house. So if you got somebody in there that doesn't belong, this camera will follow them wherever they may go. Shocker of shocker, on this indoor situation at least, I don't mind the two-way audio on this camera. You can actually understand the person and you can hear them pretty well. Now keep in mind, my biggest problem with two-way audio is when it's outdoors because you're trying to compete with all that noise. Inside, this one does pretty good.
Testing audio, testing audio, testing audio. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? How is the clarity? Testing, testing, testing.
It's great that you've got customizable detection zones. And this is a big one when you're talking about securing the inside of your house, and that's privacy mode. You don't always want to be watched. This camera does have privacy mode, and it does it very well. And this is a big one. No monthly fees. Just put an SD card in this bad boy. You can do 24/7 recording. It's another thing I love. But most importantly, no monthly fees. Let's talk about some of the app features I like. We already kind of covered this, but we have human detection and human AI tracking. So it will follow the person around. And we just touched on this as well, but this is very important. I want to show it to you on the app. We've got privacy mode. So you got the little icon on the top left of the image. Just press that anytime you want to go into privacy mode. You can also go into the app and determine where you want the camera to go once you press that icon. So if you wanted to look at a wall where you know it's not looking at you, you can do that, and that's pretty cool. Within the app, you can set your activity zones or your detection zones, and I love that. You can toggle on and off sound detection. So if it hears a loud sound, you can be notified. And when it comes to indoor cameras, you want to control that night vision. Sometimes you're shooting out a window, or sometimes you're shooting in a room that's already got light, but you can toggle that on and off. And I already mentioned this, but this is where you go in the app to set up your continuous recording. And man, there's just not that many cameras that do 24/7 recording. This one has it, and that's wonderful. This is where you can go in and control your notifications, whether you want to be notified for just humans or all motion. So that's an important one to go in and select. All right, those are the specs that I love. Now, this is an indoor camera at $34.99. There's not a whole lot going on here, so we're going to keep this short and sweet. Let's talk about what I didn't like so much. Good Lord, this is big time. Broken record, George. No Apple Home. We do have Google Assistant. We do have Lady A with Amazon, but no Apple Home. And this is just getting ridiculous. Eufy was so good about this for so long, and then it just dropped off and they never went back, which is unfortunate. This is something that I noticed, and it's happened for me with all my Eufy cameras here lately. I don't know what's going on, but the geofencing. You can set different settings for when you're away and when you're home for privacy. I find that these cameras and my home base even aren't knowing when I'm coming and going. I've got my phone in the app, the wife's phone in the app, and it doesn't seem to be working like it used to. Eufy used to do this flawlessly, but I've been having problems with it lately. Lastly, this is a nitpicky thing with me, but me personally, I do not like apps, security camera apps, where you have to go in and hit a play button. I like apps where you just go in and see your security cameras live as soon as you go into the app. Now, this is not just a Eufy thing. There's a lot of different brands that do this, but I've never been a fan. And Eufy, me loving them so much, that's one thing that's always bothered me. All right, last thing I want to mention, and this isn't necessarily a pro or a con, but it's the night vision. This camera has black and white IR night vision. It's not color. Now, inside, does that matter so much? Not necessarily. You're usually going to have a light on somewhere, and that's going to automatically make this camera in color anyway. If you do have a pitch black room, let's say a nursery or something, it is going to switch to black and white, so keep that in mind. But most of the time, in a house, inside a house, that black and white night vision doesn't matter because you're going to have enough light somewhere to make it color. But keep in mind, this is not color night vision. All right, that's it. Pretty short and sweet, like I said. What do you think? Are you a fan of Eufy? I am. I've got their solar panel cameras outside. I've got this camera inside. I've got their video doorbell in our outer hallway here. And I love them. But let me know what you think. Is there an indoor camera that I should be trying to review for you? Or is there one that you have that you like? Let me know in the comments, please. I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank you for supporting the channel. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. I appreciate your support from the bottom of my heart. I hope you all know that. Till the next video, peace and love.